Hey guys, this is KJ and I am back for my review for Love in the City. This is season 1, episode 6. This is actually, we have one more episode before the season finale. And y'all, this was an okay um, season. The only problem is it wasn't as entertaining as I thought it was going to be, but it was okay. This particular episode was really, really good though. I'm hoping that maybe the last two episodes will be pretty good. This one and the last one, but this is the season for one episode 6. So one more season, one more episode before the finale. This is the last episode before the finale. Actually, the finale is next week. All right, so let's see this stuff up, y'all. All right, so we first start off with Shanoa and Kaya. They're lingerie shopping for Tiffany. And they just talk about Tiffany and Ryan, how, Kaya's just like she wants to meet Ryan, hang out with him a little bit more, but they seem to be in it for the long haul. And then she also tells Shanoa that Roz is on the way back from Russia. She hasn't seen him in like 2 months, and she's excited that he's coming, and she says that he's a great partner, very supportive in everything that she does. So he's there when she needs him. So she's excited that he is coming to New York. She also so Kaya calls Tiffany to get her bra size for the gift that they're buying, and Tiffany tells her that she has a photo shoot, like a topless photo shoot for breast cancer, and she invites Kaya to come by. But they did point out that she did not hire them, Shanoa and Kaya, for the photography and the hair. Anyway, so at the photo shoot, Tiffany photo shoot, she celebrate being cancer free. It's gonna be for her charity, Pink Chose Me, and she's topless and she's got like some big curly hair. It's really pretty, and it looks really cute on her. Kaya shows up as support, and they talk about Tiffany and her and Brian's relationship, and she said that she found some texts in his phone that were sexy and all to another woman. So they talk about like it wasn't normal flirting, it was like flirting with intent, and she's just like she talks about how she is not really, she intends to honor their relationship, and she doesn't know like she doesn't do any kind of flirting or anything like that. So she was just like, Kaya feel like they just got a lot to talk about. So what happened was the photo shoot started, and Tiffany jokes that Kaya needs to have her second bedroom ready just in case she's moving out. So during the photo shoot, Brian show up during the photo shoot, and it's kind of awkward because of the text situation. And she tell him that they need to talk, and then she tells him eventually, she's like, "You hurt my feelings," and he was like, "I'm sorry," and she said, "That's the first time you apologize." So he was just like, "We'll talk about it later," and she was just like, she was just really disappointed, and right now their relationship is on a pause. So that means I'm basically thinking that they broke up. So we got Brishon talking about how being nervous about the whole baby surrogate situation, and her surrogate had a miscarriage. So she has her surrogate is in town, and because she's got faith, she's willing to try again. So her and her surrogate are going to go to the doctor to make sure it's okay for her to have another baby, or her to try again on getting pregnant because she had a miscarriage. Surrogate is like 21 years old. She said that's why she chose her. So she just want to make sure that everything is okay. So we get to the doctor. Brishon was telling her, just how to eat healthy, and she's gonna go with her to the doctor. They're gonna look at the ultrasound and how, just go over things on how to eat healthy and how to try to avoid another miscarriage. So we got Shanoa and her assistant are headed out to the casting for the Jabot project that she was hired for, and they're just looking at a few models in the casting call and everything. Carlisle calls during the casting call, which is the husband that she's separated from, about the donut shop business, but she can't really talk about it right now because she's just real busy with this project. So Brishon and her surrogate, and Brianna, that's her name, they're going to tour the city, and so Brishon rented a yacht, and invited Tiffany and Kaya to go. And Tiffany is shocked to see the surrogate because the surrogate is white to her. And she thought that Rashawn told her the surrogate was mixed. So she was like, you know, so they started asking her different questions and everything about it. And she was like, you know, she thought she was mixed. And she was like, no, I'm Mexican and white or something like that, she said. So she was thinking mixed like with black, but she just mixed with white, you know. The baby has Rashawn embryo, so Rashawn was like, the baby has my embryo, so who cares what my surrogate looks like? And they started talking about how it's going to be a surrogate and all these questions about being a surrogate, and they asked her questions about being attached to the baby. And she was just like, because this is Rashawn and her husband's egg and sperm, she feels good that she's basically doing this for them. She won't be attached to it because technically it's not her baby. Like, she's just doing this for them or doing this for somebody else, you know, to help somebody else. So she wouldn't be really attached to the baby like that. Chenoa back at Jabot, and it's time for the photo shoot, and she hired Kaya to be a stylist for the shoot. During the shoot, she was getting calls about problems going on with the dono shop, and she feels like things is not, you know, those things that she's not really responsible for. She was just like, you know, she signed on to become the designer for the shop. So she's not really responsible for other stuff that's falling apart, so she doesn't take the calls. She was just like, you know, I can't really give that any time right now. She was just like, you know, she's got to focus on what she know her priority is her job, which is this photography for Jabot. Alright, so then Roz is on his way back in from Russia, and they have, you know, she wants to definitely talk about kids and family in the next level. That's going to be the subject matter when he gets there, but she's really happy to see him and excited to see, you know, so he come in, he's a cute Russian guy, young, nice looking. They sit down and have breakfast, and then she talk about move him. You know, they start talking, and he talks about moving back to Russia. And she's kind of shocked that he's saying he's going to move back to Russia. And she was just like, you know, she was telling him about the plans tomorrow to meet up with the girls. She kind of pushed that aside for a minute. So she was like, we're going to meet up with the girls. They're excited to meet you. They're going to be grilling you, you know. So, you know, what do he think about the babies and all that stuff and up there moving forward? But he's just so tired right now. He don't even want to talk about it, you know, to her. He kind of just brush it off, and they kind of just go on. You know, they don't really get anywhere. So the next day, Roz and Kaya head out to go meet the girls, and the girls are ready to put him on hot seat, and they excited to meet him and ask him all these questions and about the baby and all this stuff. Because Kaya had them thinking that Roz on board, because that's what he said in one of the episodes. He did say that. So she's thinking that he on board for wanting to have a baby. You know, he's 27 and she's 40. So, after 1 second, Tiffany was like, I like him for you. She's like, how you like him for me after 1 second? She's like, because he's manly. He's got a mature quality to him, you know, and he kind of took charge, you know, at the table when he first sat down. So, anyway, they started to grill him and about his time in the city, when he's going back, and he tell them he's moving back to Russia. So, they start asking about the baby situation, like how that's going to work, and you moving back to Russia. So, he's saying he's not ready to have kids, and Kaya gets, you know, and then Kaya gets into making sure she's getting clarity about what he's saying to them. So she was just like, you know, what's going on with the ladies are just taking over. They really just kind of taking over the whole conversation. And then they go on to this whole, this is the breakup. Because basically he's saying he don't want to have kids right now. And, you know, they all know that she does want to have kids right now. So he was just like, no, you know, not right now, not right now. No, you know, he's so, you know, he's Russian. So it's like, no future, not right now. They weren't really comprehending or understanding. Kaya was kind of confused at the time. So when they figured out what he was saying, that he did not want to go ahead and have no babies, he wasn't ready, you know, for that. They was just got up and left. They started getting up and leave, you know. And so they wanted Kaya to leave with them. But she telling them, like, y'all don't have to save me. You know, I know what I'm here. I know what he, you know, who he is. We friends. So she's not leaving. So she leave out of the house. They leave out of the restaurant. Tiffany talking about she in denial. Rashawn feel like she don't think he ever wanted to be with Kaya. Tiffany calls her desperate, and Kaya stays, and the girls leave. And Kaya's disappointed, and she just don't really get where Roz is coming from. Kaya and Roz get back to the apartment, and Kaya is kind of like down in the dumps and everything, and upset. And the trip to New York basically was for him to reveal that it was about him telling her he not moving back. You know, he gonna go back to Russia and stay permanently. So she was shocked, and this is, you know, basically the breakup. So she was like, you know, I can have a kid and you can go, which is where the desperation came in, because he was just like, no, that's not gonna happen. So Roz is really like very nonchalant, no emotions about it at all. She was just like, you never, why, she was just like, why you never mentioned it? He was just like, that I'm only 27, that's life, and that kind of hurt her feelings because, like I said, she is 40 years old, and she always thought that there wasn't a big issue with age with her and him, but obviously he had other optional thoughts. So, and like she said, he was just really no emotional, and she noticed it, and she was like, you worse than me, no emotion. I could just slap you right now. And he was just like, just whatever. He didn't even have, not a smile, not a grin, not a frown, nothing. So she was just like, now he like, he like ready to go to the, so she's like, now what? So he was like, I'm ready to go to the, I'll just get my clothes and ready to go to the airport. So she's like, you don't even care, do you? So then she realized at that point that she didn't know if they had a future, but she was planning to basically have a kid on her own. And that was crazy. So she did come to that revelation. And that was crazy. And she she just realized, it is what it is. So she walked to the door and she was like, I'll see you later, Ryan. So he walked on down the hill, down the hallway with his bag, get to the airport. So Roz leaves and Kaya gets a call from Rashawn. She tells him he's gone and that's it. They broke up, and she's just like, he should be gone. Rashawn is like, he should be gone. She feel like he was using her, the waste of her time. She need to go out there and really meet somebody, her soulmate, to be happy with, And so she was just like, go ahead and get you some rest and kind of deal with your emotions. And Kaya is just kind of devastated about this whole situation because this is not how she thought it was going to be, and she was so excited for Roz to come in town. And so he gets in town, and all of a sudden he don't want to have a baby. So I definitely do hate that for Kaya. I do like Kaya, and I definitely was hoping that her and Roz had worked it out because, they make a really cute couple. They probably would have had some really, really pretty babies. And, Kaya, like I said, she's 40 years old. She already have babies. So, hopefully she will get that man. She has that type. You just got to, kind of got like a little swag. So hopefully she'll get a guy and settle down and get have a baby like she wants to. But I definitely did enjoy this episode a lot more than any of the rest of them. Actually, this is one of my favorite episodes, so it was pretty good. Anyway, definitely want you to like, comment, and subscribe to the video. And thank you so much for watching.